Hello and welcome. This is your Funky Onky with Let's Play Dragon Age Origins Blind, episode 226. In this one, we're still just talking with Archdemon. And, really, honestly, Alistair doesn't know the first thing about being king.
No, I don't, which I've told both of you on many occasions. If Anora's turned against Loghain, I say let her keep the crown. It looks better on her anyway.
You're both wrong. With a few months of experience, Alistair will make a fine king. He knows how to lead troops to defend his land. He knows how to stand and fight for justice. He knows how to show compassion to those less fortunate, and how to trust to the Maker's guidance to know right from wrong. And he knows who to turn to for aid, should that training fail him. He will be fine.
Okay, let's talk about something else.
We certainly have a great deal to plan.
Yeah, we do. Well, I guess I got work to do.
Of course, if I might make a suggestion, go speak with Anora. She will either be a powerful ally or a powerful enemy, and the sooner we know which she is, the better.
Hey, if it's up to me, I would gut her. I'm serious. I mean, she's the first person to make it on the list since freaking Balin and Loghain. So, you feeling better, dude?
Hello again, friend. It looks as though you're no worse for wear after your stay in Fort Draken.
Okay, let's interrogate him. Could you tell me about that vault again?
It's located just off the Market District in the northern alley past the Old Noble Tavern. I'll sketch out the code which will let you pass the lock wheel.
Woohoo!
Inside you can take your pick of whatever equipment remains. It is the stockpile the Wardens have kept for centuries.
Hidden
for the
weapons
defense
cache.
of
Hidden
Tenerin.
weapons cache. Did you know Duncan very well?
We went through our joining together, more years ago than I like to remember. He was exactly the same back then, tough as stone and just as grizzled. I think he understood sooner than the rest of us how ugly a choice it is to let the few be sacrificed to protect the many. Always left himself a soft spot for his recruits, though. Only way he ever let himself down.
Yeah, I was hoping I could learn a bit more about Grey Wardens.
Well, I'd be happy to tell you what I know, but it seems to me that you've picked the important parts up yourself. Be firm in your beliefs, protect people from their own ignorance, and be as loyal as you can to your brothers, even knowing you'll share their deaths.
How many Wardens are there?
It's tough to say. Only the fortress in Weishaupt has every record. But there are certainly a few dozen or hundreds in every nation in Thedas. The Anderfells are home to over 1,000. It's almost like the Archdemon chose Ferelden deliberately, knowing how unguarded it is.
Figures. You ever been to Weishaupt?
Once only, and I'd rather not go again.
Really?
It's far, lad. And very foreign. The Wardens there, they fight Darkspawn like you and me. But they're shaped by the winters there and the forest. They're a cold group and don't care like they should about the rest of the world. Their king is weak, and many Anders look to the Wardens to rule. I hate to say this, but some of them seem to want it that way.
So how are the Wardens founded?
It was near 1,200 years ago, and no one knows for sure, except that it began with a group of Anders soldiers. Apparently they defected from their king's army, vowing that fighting the Blight was more important, and traveled all the way to Tevinter themselves. They were the first ones to track down the Archdemon Dumat, and the ones to slay him, although none survived the battle. But they had picked up followers by then, and it was they who formally founded the Order, and were recognized by Thedas.
Wait. Okay. We're in a which came first, the chicken or the egg type of thing. How could they have been true Grey Wardens if they didn't have the preserved blood of an Archdemon to do the joining ritual? So they weren't actually Grey Wardens, and in that matter, how did they figure out to do the joining ritual? This is... okay, enough exposing plot holes. Unless maybe it'll get explained. That's possible. Why has it been so long since the last Blight?
Archdemons don't awaken on their own, you know. It takes the Darkspawn, tunneling and tunneling, searching for centuries to find one. And with no one to lead them, it must be sheer chance, or maybe instinct, which leads them. What's surprising isn't that it takes so long between blights. What's surprising is that they succeed at all. But I imagine the old gods call to them. And it's that voice in the darkness which drives them through so many generations.
I guess that's all for now.
The important thing to remember is, none of that matters. When you're facing Darkspawn, all you need to know is to stop them at all costs.
Hey, that's simple enough. Even Alistair can understand that. Hey, buddy.
I haven't been here in a while. They've changed the dining room. What do you need now?
I had another dream about the Archdemon.
Yes, me too. And I got the feeling at the end there that it saw us, was aware of us, whatever you want to call it. Could have just been my imagination, I suppose. What do you think?
I think that Archdemon needs to die quickly.
Well, short of waltzing through the entire Darkspawn horde and tapping it on the nose, I'm not sure just how we're supposed to do that. But killing the Archdemon is the general plan, I understand. Good to have you on board. I guess one thing is certain, at least, isn't it? It's official. This is a blight.
Yep. Anything else?
I haven't been here in a while.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
What do you need now?
Can I ask you something?
If you really have to, go ahead.
He really doesn't like me. Screw it. I don't care. I was gonna talk to him about marrying Anora, but if that's not a real conversation choice, fuck it. Morgan's. I suppose I should probably look at the map to see where What's-Her-Bucket's actually hanging out. Back here. Just in case. You.
Hello again, Warden. It is good that you came to speak with me. I realize that my actions at Howe's estate may not have painted me in the best light. For that, I apologize and hope that we can start again. I will be blunt. I can see that your voice will be a strong one in days to come. It is to you that Eamon listens, and with good reason. My father must be stopped, but once that is done, Ferelden will need a ruler. I would welcome your support for my throne.
Why should I support you?
For years, I have ruled this kingdom as Kaelin's queen. As much as they loved Kaelin, all of the Banon knew this to be so. Kaelin was a good man, but what is needed now is not another good man, but a good ruler. I sent Alina here not solely because I thought I needed help, but because I saw an opportunity for us both. I need your support, Warden, and you will need mine.
I do think I'm as important as she believes, but you think you're a better candidate than Alistair?
Do you disagree? You are a fellow Grey Warden. What do you think of Alistair's potential to rule? Never mind his willingness.
Being a good ruler requires more than ambition.
Alistair seems like a kind, well-meaning man, and biddable enough. These are admirable qualities, if not kingly ones. He also seems to be a fine Grey Warden, which is exactly why he should remain one and serve the kingdom by defeating the Darkspawn.
So, how do you know so much about him?
Kaelin knew of Alistair. It was Arl Eamon that kept Alistair out of the courts, as Merrick had desired. Oh, there are some who would follow Alistair out of respect for his Therin blood. The others would see this as Eamon grabbing for power. Who else do you think Alistair would turn to for help? Eventually, the nobility would return to the old days of constant warring with each other. Alistair's weakness would destroy everything Merrick built.
You just want the throne for yourself.
Ferelden needs an effective ruler with experience to see it through the blight and after. That is not Alistair. Thus, I say again, I would welcome your support for the throne if you would give it.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I agree that there is much to be done before the lands meet, but don't you think plans should still be made for what will follow? I do.
So, you're proposing an alliance?
That is exactly what I am proposing. When the time comes, you support my bid in the lands meet to remain on the throne. You will be seen as my father's enemy, yet you will be in support of his daughter. You will be seen as supporting the interests of Ferelden, as opposed to solely those of the Grey Wardens. In return, I add my voice to yours. Do you see? Together we can do what alone we cannot.
Why not simply marry Alistair? It's the best of both worlds.
Ignoring that the man looks so much like Kaelin, my recently dead husband, if you'll recall, my main fear is that he might govern like Kaelin as well. But it is true that Alistair has Theron blood. To some, this is more important even than practical considerations. A union might be considered a compromise, but is this something Alistair even desires?
I think I could convince him.
Let me say this. If Alistair is willing to stand back and allow me to continue governing the nation, then I would be willing to have him as my king. It is my understanding that governing does not appeal to him anyhow. If that is so, this is a compromise I can live with.
So why would he agree to those terms?
Do you foresee me agreeing to place an untried, unwilling man on the throne otherwise? One whose largest decisions to date have consisted of which shoe to put on first? If it will settle matters more quickly, I am willing to agree to this. But only if it will benefit Ferelden.
I'll speak to him then.
Do so. I will be interested to hear what he has to say.
I think it's pretty obvious that I'm not going to get to kill her! The horrendous bitch! Betraying me like that. I don't care if it was practical. I don't care what she has to say to defend herself. But it's pretty obvious that I'm not going to be able to kill her as I want to. I mean, maybe the opportunity will present itself. But as I've said before, Funky's pretty forward-thinking. He can see that he's not so evil as to shoot himself in the foot and just cut. Well, whatever. I'm rambling. I'm gonna end it here. We'll talk to Alistair in the next one. This has been your Funky Honky. Let's play Dragon Age Origins Blind. Stay tuned for episode 227, and I hope you'll see me next time.